All right, hey everybody, it's Peter from Shootopia, and I'm back with Laura from Align Pedorthics, and we're going to do another version of Feel Good Feet live from our homes.
We
Laura, what have you
are.
got planned for today?
Well, I'm sure everybody can see here Peter's lovely feet under the desk. But
Using
we're gonna
my
do a little,
dual cameras here today.
yep, we're gonna do something a little bit different this time around. Basically, I'm gonna kind of walk Peter through some exercises that I might show somebody in the clinic. The idea behind all of these is to strengthen all of those small intrinsic muscles that help actually stabilize your foot. So if you lose some of that stability, that's when you start to see feet and ankles kind of flatten out. I hear it all the time. The older I get, my feet are getting bigger, and it's actually that those intrinsic muscles that are lengthening. So if we can kind of support and work on some of that strength,
Cool.
helps with stability, less trips and falls, all that sort of thing.
Yeah, I mean, we get that at the store a lot, where people will say, hey, I've always been a 7AA or whatever the case is since I was young. But the fact of the matter is that our feet do change as we age and as we get older, and just the happenstances of life, our feet change, right?
Yep, exactly. So, okay, so first things first, I'm gonna basically show if you have the ability to get down on the ground into kind of a kneeling position to do some of these, that's great. Peter here is gonna show the option of if you don't have that ability. So I'll kind of walk us through a couple different options, but first things first, what I would do is if we can just kind of warm up the tissues. So at home, if you're following along, even just grab a tennis ball, a golf ball, and then I'm just gonna move my camera here, and then we can kind of roll out the bottom of the feet. We can do lots of ankle circles, get that ankle kind of rolling, things talking to you, exactly. Just wake things up, get things warm.
Yeah.
But once we actually get into the exercises, first thing I want to look at doing is what I call a tripod foot. And what that means is it's basically, if you think of this as your foot, this is my heel. We've got 3 contact points. So base of the heel, right in the middle of the heel. And then we're going to have kind of the pad of the big toe and then the pad of the small toe.
Oh, okay. So it goes sort of inward, outward.
Yeah, and those are your 3 contact points. When we're talking about the tripod foot, what you're looking at doing is basically pushing the floor. Oh, there's my dog going wild.
That's okay.
Pushing the floor away from you and kind of gripping away and pushing away from those 3 contact points.
Okay.
I'll actually feel, if I can be here a little bit closer from the side here, is if you can push the floor away, you actually see that arch come upwards.
Wow, that's a hard thing for me to do.
Yeah, it's hard for a lot of people to do.
How did you do that again? Show me that again.
So that's just kind of my relaxed position. You can see it.
The other way though.
And then kind of pushing away.
Oh yeah.
The heel.
So you're still planted on the heel, but
yeah.
Exactly. I'm having a hard time with that one.
That's okay. You can almost think of too, if from a seated position, you'll almost think of your lower leg turning outwards. That might help to actually raise it a little bit.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And then if you were doing it from a standing position, you think of your lower leg actually, sorry, your femur doing the same thing.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Perfect.
No, that's different for sure.
Yeah. So tripod foot, just remember this across the board. For all of the rest of the exercises I'm going to show you, try to keep those 3 contact points.
Okay. So we're trying to keep all 3.
Trying to keep all 3.
My front toes want to raise when I do that. If I'm trying to put my pads down, is that normal?
It is normal. Just try to keep the toes down and try not to scrunch them too much.
Okay.
It is a default position, but.
All right.
So exercise number 2, we're going to look at raising big toes. So it's not a big movement. If you have to start by holding these toes down, you can. If you're in a position like me. Peter, if you're sitting, you would almost have to think about it doesn't have to be a lot of pressure, but just kind of putting some contact on the smaller toes.
Laura asked me to grab my shoehorn, so there you go.
Got Magic Shoetopia shoehorns.
Yes. Okay.
And then you would actually look at raising this big toe up. So a lot of people think that I'm joking when I say this.
Yeah, I can do it on one foot a little better than the other one.
Oh, here comes my dog, Barney.
Yeah.
And then down. So you can kind of think about doing 5 or 10 of these. Any of these exercises, if you're getting foot cramping, that's normal. That means that you're hitting the right spots.
When you're doing them,
when you're doing them.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. But just take a break, walk around, come back to them.
That's interesting. One side I can do virtually fairly easy, and the other side I can hardly move at all.
It's pretty common. Same as we usually have one dominant hand, right? So
yeah, and I have a knuckle issue on this toe too, and that's the one I'm having a hard time. So
okay, so some range of motion. So both sides, you can work on that. Then we're going to do the flip side of that. So we're going to hold our big toe in place, and then the small toes will rise up. Show you that. So big toe stays down. Again, you can hold it in place if you need to.
Yeah.
Then just rise.
Oh, you've been practicing these.
I do this quite a bit.
Because that's very hard.
It is very hard.
And I feel uncoordinated.
You know what? The biggest thing is that you're just trying to get your brain to actually talk to those toes.
Yeah.
It's not something that we do every day.
No.
It does come fairly easy. Like I would say if you were to work on this 10 minutes every night for the rest of the week, it would already start to come. Like it doesn't take a long time.
Yeah.
It's just getting your brain talking to your feet.
It's like the whole the whole Vulcan thing back in Star Wars days.
Yeah.
You just gotta actually think about it a bit.
Yeah. That's exactly what it is. Okay, so the next thing we're gonna go into is we're gonna raise all 5 toes.
Okay.
So I'll show you here. We'll raise all 5 toes and then think about bringing them down one at a time.
Oh my goodness.
I get a little, my first one will come down, then the second one, not so much.
I see what you mean.
And most people will kind of find that their first will come down and maybe their 3 will come down at the same time. But again, we're just practicing. It's not,
yeah.
You're not going to win any awards for this.
No, and you're still trying to keep that tripod through this exercise?
Exactly. Always trying to keep that tripod.
Okay.
So
yeah.
Up.
That makes it even harder.
It does. So you can kind of practice both ways. You can go small toe to big toe. You can go big toe to small toe. And then you can kind of play with variations too, where you can rise your middle 3 toes and lower them down. Really the idea is that your feet should be like your hands.
Yeah.
You can gain independent movement of all of your toes. That's the ultimate goal. Rare that will happen, but that is the ultimate goal.
Cool. Those are awesome. I am definitely going to be giving those a go. And I think I just think that I should be able to have that motion, and it bothers me that I don't now that I know you do.
You must have played competitive sports or something growing up, because that seems to be the group that if I tell somebody to do these and they can't, they're like, I got to do it.
Yeah. So that's good. I mean, we've never really talked about this on any of the Feel Good Feet episodes or anything. So I think this is really cool, and I'm sure it's going to help our customers too, for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and easy things you can do. I would say if you can start with the tripod foot and then just slowly start to incorporate those exercises. You don't have to start with a lot. Like even with the tripod foot, hold it for 3 seconds and then relax. Hold it for 3 seconds and then relax.
That's weird. Even just that one's a weird one for me. I just can't. Your arch just kind of like, your arch just popped right up there, and mine still feels like it's there.
I do these exercises a lot, showing people how to do them. So yeah. Yeah.
Because you like looking at your foot when I saw your foot, you know, you look fairly flat-footed,
Yep.
you know, and can you talk a little bit about the idea between having the arch or being flat-footed? Like, is there any difference in these exercises? Because we see a lot of people that are fairly flat-footed too.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm of the mindset that if there's kind of these different categories of flat foot, high arch, kind of normal. I don't really categorize feet. I'm mostly concerned about the position that you are stuck in. So
Right.
say like for instance, I have a flat foot, but if I'm not able to raise that, that's where I start to get concerned. So same as with the position, if somebody has a really high arch and they're kind of walking on, we see that too. People are
Yeah.
walking on the side of their foot all the time. If they can't get that flattening motion, that's where I'm concerned.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's good.
Yeah.
Was there anything else you want to go through today? Any other exercises, or those
I
ones we're
don't.
going to cover?
I think that's a good starting
I
point.
think it is too.
I
Three
don't want to
exercises. If I could get one of these, I'd be happy.
Yeah, yeah. I don't want to overwhelm people, but I kind of have an arsenal of exercises. So if anybody is looking for more or interested in some feedback, let me know.
Cool. Cool. Well, that's awesome. Maybe we'll do another one of these too with another round of goodies.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, thanks everybody for spending some time with us. And as always, you know, your feet are your foundation, and both Laura and I work with feet every day, just in different ways. And hopefully this has brought you some interest. It certainly has for me, Laura. I'm very interested in what you've said here today. And hopefully we'll continue to bring you these Feel Good Feet episodes so that we're driving home the idea of feeling great and having a good life on the foundation that is your feet. So for now, I'm Peter from Shootopia.
And I'm Laura from Align Orthics.